Alright, hello everyone. Today we have 3 gigantic pages to get through, so I cannot really explain too in depth, otherwise this video can literally go on for 30 minutes. I tried a few times, so I'm going to try my best to kind of summarize what these characters are and talk quickly about all of these statuses and stuff and how it all flows together, because I think that's what most people want to care about rather than what everything actually does. Because this character, if you just press win rate, it kind of plays itself, it kind of does it. Alright, so let's talk about the Tremor Scorch status. This is basically another way to amplify the damage of the burn team. On Tremor Burst, they take ref damage equal to sum of Tremor Potency and Burn Potency, and then they lose 1 burn count. Just another way to do bursting, to do more damage at scales of Tremor and Burn Potency. Very, very powerful stuff here, especially when we look at 1 ego later on. Next, we have Tiger Mark rounds and Savage Tiger Mark rounds. We will talk about both of them. These 2 rounds are not the same. You will start with Tiger Mark rounds. This is your regular ammo. You will use this as per normal for most of your skills, right? Skill 1 Tiger Mark, Skill 2 Tiger Mark, Skill 3 Tiger Mark. So this is where you consume all of this ammo over here. Now there's a passive in all of these bullets over here, and they're all the same. Alright, and they even appear later on here, and they also appear over here, but it's all the same. It's basically whenever you consume enough rounds at X plus rounds consumed from your skills, you will get Unrelenting Spirit Shin instead of Unrelenting Spirit. Yes, this character has Shin. He will activate his Shin when you have used a lot of rounds. You can treat this as something like a powering up stage. This boss starts off as level 1. At level 1, he's just punching you. Once you prove that you can survive the punching, now he activates his real power, his Unrelenting Spirit. Then he swings at you. And if he spends enough rounds, you've proven that you're worthy of it, he will activate his Shin and try to kill you. Alright, so that's what this character kind of reminds me of, which I think is very, very cool, because this character is based on the boss ID, which is very, very awesome. Then you have Savage Tiger Mark rounds. These rounds you do not start with. If you look at the passive, I'll show you, you do not start with Savage Tiger Marks. You only start with Tiger Mark rounds. So how do you get the Savage? It's from the passive again. What happens is that if you use your defense skill, if you use all of your Tiger Marks, or if you get staggered, you will reload Savage Tiger Marks to the max, which is 8, and you also gain Unrelenting Spirit. So that is when you go all out. Basically, either the enemy forces you to go all out, or you decide that you want to go all out, or you are forced to because you ran out of ammo, then you decide to go all out, right? So this is how I perceive it. This character is basically starting in the baby stage, just to test out his opponent, and then after that he goes all out and activates his Unrelenting Spirit and puts in his actual real bullets to try and show you how a capo actually fights, right? So that's, I think, really, really damn cool. Okay, moving on to Unrelenting Spirit and Unrelenting Spirit Shin. They are the exact same. This one is just higher numbers. Alright, you gain min and max speed, you deal more damage if you're faster, and you inflict more Tremor Potency and count with this skill over here. Once you spend enough, you activate Shin, which is just this, but more than this. Alright, that's it. Nothing else to it. Alright. This only activates when you have activated the Unrelenting Spirit and eaten enough bullets. They will repeat this multiple times, so you definitely cannot miss that at all. Then you have Overheat. What's Overheat? Overheat is actually a bad thing. I'll explain why, but you can get Overheat once you have spent your last Savage Tiger Mark round. What happens is that when you spend it, you get attack weight and you also gain Overheat next turn. And this is a persistent effect. You can only lose this effect by gaining Savage Tiger Mark rounds. That's the only way to do it. What happens when you overheat? You become fast, but you lose clash power based on the bullets you've eaten, and we will eat about 20 something bullets by the time we get here. So 20 divided by 2, for example, or divided by 3, we are going to lose a significant amount of clashing power, which will probably make us lose most of our clashes. Alright, however, gain the following effects. Cumulative rounds spent. So if you spend 8 rounds, you get protection for missing HP. 14 rounds spent, you clash lose unbreakable coins of this unit will now deal missing HP percentage damage plus X. And then if 20 rounds are spent, you will deal HP percentage difference damage against targets with higher remaining HP than this unit. So if you somehow were not able to take down your opponent and he's still tankier than you, you will just overheat and start trading your life against them, because you're going to use your unbreakable coins to try and hit them and then deal missing percentage of your own HP's damage to the opponent. So that's how I perceive this overheat. You basically had to go really, really all out, and now you're pushing yourself to the limit, and now you are desperately trying to claw at this guy to finish him off before you fall to the enemy. Alright, so this is how this Meursault's support, so his statuses all basically function. And now we'll talk about the flow of this character. So starting off, basic form, what are we looking at? We're looking at skill 1, we're looking at skill 2, we're looking at skill 3. We're looking to spend our regular Tiger Mark rounds so that we can activate our Unrelenting Spirit after we have spent all of our Tiger Mark rounds, and also use all of this stuff here to apply different sorts of statuses, tremor potencies, burn potencies, tremor counts, burn counts, and so on and so forth. Take note that if you run out of ammo, you can still swing, just like the full stops. Full stop Hong Lu can still swing even though he ran out of ammo, but you will lose the ability to inflict burn and inflict burn count, similar to Hong Lu losing, I think, his poise gain, if I remember correctly, right? If this unit equipped defense skills for the first time, blah blah blah, you already saw this one. And also, if you activate this due to stagger, you will heal yourself from stagger. That's a very, very powerful thing, right? It's like your Blade Lineage Meursault. If he gets staggered, he will still unleash his Claim Their Bones before he gets staggered. And this only does not work if the enemy does a force stagger, such as Gaze from Chroma's ability, right? That will forcefully stagger you, then that will basically not let you recover from stagger, otherwise it will become a bit buggy. Okay, what happens when you reload? You will remove all Tiger Mark rounds. So this one is for the use case where you use the defense skill to dump all of the rest of your Tiger Mark rounds. So you do want to be careful of this. You don't actually want to use your defense skill at all, because what happens is that when you use it, you dump your entire stack of Tiger Mark rounds, and then you can't really do anything with this skill 1, skill 2 for status application and whatnot. But it also does trigger your Unrelenting Spirit and your Savage Tiger Mark rounds. So you can choose to go into it immediately if you wanted to, in case the fight is very, very short. So you just reload immediately, dump all 12 bullets of your Tiger Marks and put in 8 Savages, and then just go and hit the enemy really, really hard with your Unrelenting Spirit. So that is a possibility. But in a long fight, or you think it's going to be a long fight, you might want to spend all your Tiger Mark rounds to just apply statuses regularly first, and then after that, when you run out, then you Unrelenting Spirit. Or when you're closer to being ready, when you're closer to maybe I want to use my skill 3-2 here, then you can go and reload first. When you use your defense skill, you dump all of your regulars, you activate your savages, and then now you use your 3-2, right? So you can do something like that if you want. So this one gives you a little bit of choice. You can just choose when you want to transform this character into serious mode. Then after that, this part here reminds you of going to Shin. This part here, I talked about it already. Next, we have the Tian Tui Stars Blade. When you have Tiger Mark rounds, all of your skill 3 will become unbreakable coins, and skill coins that spend Tiger Mark rounds will gain power and deal more damage. What it means is that this one does not spend, so it does not get coin power. This one does spend, so it does get coin power and damage multiplier as well. Skill 2, only these two. This one doesn't. Skill 3, all 3 will trigger. So that's what this part means here. Then we have the Savage Tiger Mark round. If you have one of them, all of your coins, every single one of them are unbreakable. So that is just superior compared to this Tiger Mark round over here. And after that, if you drop to 0, now only the unique ammo consumption skills, the coins, will have unbreakable coins. So now only Tiger Mark round skill 2 will have unbreakable, skill 1 will become regular coin. So if you lose the clash, you don't swing twice, you only swing once with the second coin only. So that is what changes here when you run out of your Savage Tiger Marks, which is quite bad because you don't really want to lose the additional power from using the Savage Tiger Mark rounds, right? And also, the Savage Tiger Mark rounds also gives you burn potency and burn count on hit. So that is extremely, extremely lovely. Just additional burn application and burn count application onto these 2 coins over here. Really, really love to see it. Then support passive, this one is just whenever an ally uses a skill that spends ammo, if their speed is faster than the target by X or more, then they will deal more damage. If they have ammo, then they can get the buff. But if they have ammo and no ammo, like for example your Hong Lu used all of his ammo, but he does have the ammo status, it's just at 0, he will still trigger this passive over here. So it's a nice passive to give to your other characters that use the guns, like your Hong Lu, and they will be able to get the benefits from this thing over here. Or even your Full Stop Heathcliff or your Rabbit Heathcliff or any other gun character that you want, really, right? As long as they have a bullet, they will be able to get it as long as they are fast. Deal more damage here with the Savage Tiger's Lunge. Really, really damn cool. Okay, then all of the skills here, you can go and read it yourself because all of the skills are very simple to understand. He gets firepower and coin power as long as the target has burn and tremor on the main target, and he can only use the 3-2 if he has Savage Tiger Mark rounds. Otherwise, everything else here is Tiger Mark rounds only. That's it. That is the character explained. And basically, this character is very Unga Bunga. You can Unga Bunga as much as you want, and if you want to go serious mode and activate your Unrelenting Spirit, or you want to immediately hit into Unrelenting Spirit and transform it into Shin immediately, so you can use a very powerful 3-2, you can defense just to dump the rest of your ammo and go into serious mode, Shin mode. Alright, so that is how you can play this character. It's basically a boss. It's legit a boss. You start at basic phase, then you go serious mode, and then if you have to go all the way, then you have to start burning your own HP to try and win before you are going to die. Alright, that is the character basically summarized. And I'll talk about all the synergies later on with Egos, because there are some insane synergies with Egos for this character. Next, we have Sinclair. Sinclair is a character that I can talk about really fast. First off, take note, skill 1, it does not consume any ammo. Skill 2 does not consume any ammo. Skill 3 consumes 3 ammo. How much ammo does he have? He has 15 ammo. Let's look at the passive for this character. Always begin encounter with the Scorch Propellant ammo. He only has 1 ammo, so it doesn't matter, right? If this unit spends Scorch Propellant, he will get damage up equal to the amount spent next turn, so he can get 3, right? And when flipping a coin that consumes Scorch Propellant ammo while not having the Scorch Propellant ammo, it does not cancel his attack, so he can still swing his skill 3 coins, but he will not be able to inflict the burn, very similar to your Meursault. Then you have Ammunition Tribute. Now this is the only part that you actually need to know about this character. Everything else about this character, you can actually just press win rate and you will basically be playing the character properly. When the one ally entity with the fastest deployment order amongst those who use ammo finish the attack, if their current ammo is fewer than half, spend Scorch Propellant ammo on self equal to the total amount of count ammo spent the affected unit spent, and supply them with the same amount of ammo as Scorch Propellant ammo, right? So if your Meursault spends 6 bullets in 1 turn, okay, he can't do that, never mind. We go with 3 bullets, he spent 3 bullets in 1 turn, then he drops to half, he drops to 6 bullets left. They will reload him another 3 bullets, and so on and so forth until he fully dumps all of his ammo into the other guy. But take note that this works on any bullet character. As long as they are the fastest bullet character, then they will be able to get a free reload from this Sinclair here, which means other characters like your Rabbit and so on can actually get bullets reloaded into them. Okay, this is only if you want to. You can use whatever you want for this character to just reload these characters. Really damn cool. But if the ammo identity that receives this bullet is a thumb of higher rank, you will give them 1 additional ammo that they use. And if the ammo receiving identity has separate values for power and count, they will be supplied at random. If either power or count is maxed out, supply whichever is not maxed. What this means is basically the potency and the count. It's not actually power. I don't know why it's power here. But if the potency, like for example, Solemn Lament Yi Sang, he has potency and count, the butterflies, right? The dark or light one. Then you will give either or, depending on randomness. But if the light one is max, then you will give more to the black side instead, and so on and so forth. So I think that is what this part here is meant to be, right? So this character is just a versatile ammo reloader, which is very cool. And his support passive is even better, by the way. When the one ally blah 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 blah, if their current ammo count is fewer than half, regain half of the maximum ammo capacity. So if your ally is fast and they use ammo and they drop to half, they get half of it back. So they just restore themselves to full ammo, basically, right? Really damn cool, because it scales off the maximum ammo capacity, right? So if you drop your Tiger Marks to 6, you reload back to +6, so you get 12. If the ammo receiving blah 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 blah, it's all the same thing over here, right? So you can actually put him on the support passive bench for some other bullet characters and use him with the thumb just because you can give them additional ammo, right? So that is the thing to use with this character. You still want to use him with Meursault, obviously, because this character does have the Tremor application, he does have the Tremor burst triggers, and more importantly, he can actually Tremor Scorch for Meursault before Meursault even gets his Tremor Scorch ability. He can only do Tremor Scorch on skill 3 and skill 3-2, but Sinclair can also do it on his skill 3, so whoever draws it first gets to do it, right? So having him to do it earlier so that Meursault can do his triggers onto this is not a bad idea, and this Sinclair can also do a bunch of Tremor bursting as well, which is very nice. So that's it actually for this character. You can look at his skill 1 and skill 2, he has no bullet consumption. His skill 3 is the only one that eats the bullets, which means that 12 of, or maybe let's assume you use the skill 3 twice in one long fight, right? So you minus 6, so you still have 9 bullets to give to someone else. So you can give 9 more shots into your Meursault, which lets him last a bit longer and lets him do even more of his powerful skills, which is what you want. And then for Meursault himself, he's going to want to just do Unga Bunga shenanigans. You don't even need to know how to play this character. Just press the win rate button, careful of pressing the defense button, and you basically are playing the character already. The only time that you want to go to the 3-2 is when you are ready to go all out, basically. When you have sufficiently dumped all of your tiger marks and you feel ready to just go into the final mode and finish up the fight immediately, then activate your 3-2, right? There's a lot of very, very cool stuff here that you can go and do with this character. Just really damn cool character. Now we talk about synergy, because this character has insane synergy. Meursault's egos are some of the best in the game, and the synergy I'm about to see is absolutely ridiculous. We look at Capote first, right? Capote has no cap on inflict tremor by burn potency on target. No cap, by the way, which means that if you have 99 burn, that is 99 potency applied onto the target with 1 use of this ego. And this ego also applies 10 burn first before you go and trigger this part over here. So this is really damn awesome. And then also gain 2 haste, 1 ref power up, and 1 blunt power up next turn. Just absolutely amazing stuff for Meursault. Because why? The blunt power up, guess what it affects? It affects his skill tree. Cause blunt and blunt. Holy shit, right? Only the first 2 are slash, but the last one is blunt. So you have a blunt power up. You have Wrath power up. It's a Wrath skill. Gain 2 haste because you go faster than the enemy. You are able to do more damage to them. Amazing synergy. You have burn spreading. You have trigger tremor burst for tremor scorch. Oh, it's absolutely beautiful. And the coin power of this thing is 45. Absolutely ridiculous. You basically cannot lose a single clash with this ego at all. Alright, it's just insanely powerful for its cost. And the cost is also really, really good. The cost for this ego is 2 Wrath, 1 Lust, and 2 Sloth. Now let's look at what Meursault gives. He gives what? Sloth here, Lust here, and Wrath here. Beautiful, absolutely beautiful. It's just perfection. It is just what he absolutely wants. And then the passive here is if he gets targeted by 2 or more skills, he gets 1 blaze power, blah, 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 blah. You don't have to care about this one. You only really care about this one line over here where you inflict tremor by burn uncapped. There's no 30, no 50 number over here. It's 99 possible. Alright, it is 99 possible. Absolutely insane because of tremor scorch, dealing the damage based on tremor potency and burn potency. Oh my god, it's gonna be so disgusting, right? You just capote before you're ready to do the big moves, and then you just set up and make it so the enemy is now maximum tremor potency and maximum burn potency with the rest of your burn team. Just insane good synergy. But we're not even done yet because we always have regret. Walpurgis ego, by the way. If Walpurgis comes and you see regret, I recommend picking it up just for this character here. What does this ego do? It removes 2 random removable negative effects on yourself, inflicts 3 tremor count, inflicts Wrath Absolute Resonance additional tremor count, and also does a tremor burst. And if they don't have a stagger threshold, you will deal Wrath damage, blah blah blah, skills of the Wrath Absolute Resonance again. So very suitable for this character, right? We want to be Wrath and tremor at the same time, so this is beautiful. And the leftmost skill on the dashboard loses 1 base power and gains 2 coin power. 2 coin power on a 5 coin skill is not okay, people. It is not okay. So look forward to that one over there. And then at the start of the turn, if you are at 4 minus speed, you also gain 1 blunt power up. This one is more unlikely to trigger than anything, so we can just ignore that for now because we're going to go way too fast, guys. We are really just too damn fast with this Meursault. The Unrelenting Spirit and Overheat itself all give him minimum and maximum speed. It's very unlikely that he will ever be able to get that +1 blunt power up here. But it's okay because Capote also gives it to us whenever we want to trigger it, and we basically fuel it ourselves. Just insanely good synergy for this character here. For Sinclair really only has 1 decent looking ego for this particular synergy, which is 9-2, able to be filled very easily in the burn team, and he has 5 lust requirement. Well, his skill 1 is lust, and it's super easy for him to farm the lust, right? And if all of this, he does some burn potency, and then he does some debuffing, and on hit with a lust affinity skill, he lowers target's SP by 4, which is interesting. And he also gains 5 lust ego resource on kill if he uses his skill 1 to kill, which is quite funny. And that's about it. I couldn't find anything else for Sinclair. that is not super synergistic with this. I mean, he does have Impending Day, which lets you heal if you want, which is still going to be really good. Cavernous Wailing, I don't think the burn team has a lot of gloom, so that's probably not going to be a very interesting idea. And the Tears of Tarnished Blood is not the one that goes with this Sinclair, because we still need to find a Rupture ID for this Sinclair to go and equip. I'd want to use Deviat. I hope they give us something else. Otherwise, I really don't know what's going to happen here. Alright, so that's about it. Insane synergy from Meursault. Just an absolute unit of a character. The art of this character is peak, the animations are peak, and this part here is just hilarious. By the way, you also gain coin power, by the way. You get coin power on the 5 coin skill here, and then you get regret plus 2 extra coin power on this skill over here. It's disgusting. And take note, right? Because the Savage Tiger Marks, when they get consumed, right, you also gain power and do more damage. Oh my god. It's unfair. It's unfairness in like one skill, people. This is an absolutely disgusting character just because this 3-2 here. But it's not as disgusting as Malphite because he does take time to get to this part over here. Malphite can do it every single turn. So it's not like power creep is crazy or anything. He has Shin, he's crazy. Well, yes, he is crazy, but he does need a little bit of a setup in order to get the full power of the 3-2. You do want to pop a few egos just to get even more power out of this character, right? So yeah, there's still a little bit of stuff that you need to set up for this character, but if you don't want to set up at all, win rating is probably still going to win you every single fight, and you will probably never ever see overheat unless you mess up the fight. I'm not going to lie, because overheat seems like it's going to take a really long time to actually trigger. Like, you can spend 1 Tiger Mark, 2 Tiger Mark, or 3 Tiger Mark, but this only has 1 copy, this is 2 copy, and this is 3 copy. So it's still going to take you a long while to dump all of your Tiger Marks. Maybe, let's say, for example, 6 turns. I didn't do the math yet, but let's say you take 5 to 6 turns to dump all Tiger Marks. Now you reload to Savage, then that's another maybe 2-3 turns to go and pop all of the Savage Tiger Mark rounds. Then you hit overheat. By that point, I think the fight's over. And remember that Sinclair also feeds you 9 ammo, basically, assuming that he uses skill 3 twice. If he never, then he gives you 12 ammo. So you basically will never ever see overheat as long as you are running this character with Sinclair. So I think that this is going to be very powerful, and these two characters practically are made to be with each other. You don't really want to separate these characters anymore, because you will kind of burn out faster, a lot faster, if you don't have this character here. But at the same time, the fight is super easy, right? Then you don't actually need the Sinclair at all. You can just Unga Bunga really hard with whatever party you want to use. You can use Philip because Philip has AoE, right? So yeah, you can just use Philip instead if you wanted to. Alright. That is all I have to say for this video here. If I missed anything, feel free to let me know. I'm very excited for this Meursault. I'm absolutely dispensing him, even if his numbers are shit. I will dispense him purely because of his Uptie 1 art. His Uptie 1 art is just pure aura, and I'm going to use that as my main Sinner picture for a very long time. Alright, so that's it, guys. Good luck if you're going to pull or dispense this character. I'm going to dispense him because Walpurgis is coming, well, sometime. We don't know the exact date yet, but it's coming, so I'm going to prepare myself. Alright, that's all. Thanks, guys. See you next time. Bye-bye.